Alright, so welcome back to the second tutorial in the series, and as we model all of our different paths previously, according to the plan that we have the upper plate, the lower plate, the base plate, the bolts, the nuts, and also the angles. So we have all of them now. We have the angle, we have the base plate, we have the bolt, we have the lower pad, and we have the upper plate, and also the lower pad or lower plate, doesn't matter. Alright, so now that we have all the required parts that we have, so the next thing we're gonna do is to uh, make the holes where we require, and to do that we need to probably take a look at the plan views and also the front views. We have two holes in the upper plate, and we have four holes in the base plate, and we also have holes in our angle, which can be seen here, but there are holes in the angles, two holes in each side, as you can see here, for tightening the nut and bolts. Yeah, you can also see here, and you can see here one hole here and one hole here, but there are also two other holes on the across the vertical axis or across the z axis, which cannot be seen in this 2D figure. Alright, so let's do that. So before doing that, let's just start with the base plate here. So we have four holes at these location, and you might need to do so. The first thing is that whenever you are planning to edit your any particular section, so you might need to do some pre-calculation, just rough calculation on your sheet, like what's the location for that, and how could you do that, and like, for example, what's the center of your hole, although it might be mentioned to you in the drawings that this is the center, but this center is from where. So that's the thing. Then you need to calculate, for example, it's from 1/3 from here, 2/3 from here, or it is at a specific distance from here, and also vertical distance as well. So these are the things that really matters, and you really need to do some pre-calculation and stuff so that everything is get ready when you're modeling. Alright, so I just trying something. So now that's our base plate, and the first thing that we could do is, like, we need to tick this option here, create cut extrude. It will ask you select the plane for the extrude. I need this plane, so it's actually our base plate. Okay, so yeah, I'd like to have this plane, and select an edge that will appear vertical on the right. So if I choose this edge, this will appear right here. Alright, so the next thing I could do is sketch a section. The good thing with Abaqus is it will give you some direction what to do and what to not. So I have four holes in this base plate, so I can choose this, pick a center. So I can pick a center at any point now because I don't know the exact location of my hole. So I just pick this, and then just sketch a hole of random diameter or whatever, or the radius. And now I can come back and check the dimension. So the hole size is 25 mm I have, and so it is 62 mm from this side, and it is 76 mm from this side. So what I can do is dimensioning tool. This might be the, nope. So the dimensioning tool is, Alright, let me see if I can add dimension to this thing. Okay, yeah, I can actually. So actually it is the radius, so I have 25, so it should be 12.5. That's the radius of the circle, the hole actually. The total diameter is 25 mm. And I also have from let me see if that is all the way up to, yeah, to the centroid, to the center of the hole is 62, and also to the center of this hole is 76. So from here to here we have, sorry for that, yep, we have 62. From this point all the way to this point we have 62, and from this point to this point we have 76. Let me see if I'm not wrong. Yep, that's the thing. Alright, so this is now the first. The second is just random, obviously click this, and then I need to put the dimensions to this as well. So yep, the radius is again 12.5, and this, yeah, so from here to, oops, sorry, from this side to this center is again 62, and from this side to the center is 76. And finally there's one more thing. It is actually the distance between two of them, which is from this section to this section, so that is also 76. Alright, so I can choose from here all the way up to here. So you can see it should, as mentioned, because we already created the dimensioning from one side and other side, which is 60 to 60. So if I create this, it will make marked as in a pink color, which is just over dimensioning. So I really don't want that, so I can then delete this because it is already fine. Alright, I'm not sure if I can select these, oops. Alright, so there must be an option where you can select, let me see. Okay, let's drag. I don't want to drag them. Alright, what we can do is just create two of them more here, just here, and another one is just a random one here. Can add dimension to it, 12.5. Oopsie, this is also 12.5, right? And from here it is 62, and from top should be 76. Let me confirm that, by the way, because I don't know. Yeah, it's the same from both, and it's symmetric. Alright, the same for this. From top to here it is 76, and from this location to here should be 62. And I really don't need to check. Anyway, you can always check that. It should be 76 from this line to this. As you can see, it's 76, but you don't have to put the dimensions. And the other thing you can do is you can always check the vertical distance between this point and this point, which is 128 here. So if it is correctly dimensioned, so it should give us 128, which is correct. And again, if you can just press enter, it will just doing an over dimensioning and the thing won't go. So you don't need this kind of dimension anyways. Alright, so more or less I'm almost done with those stuff, and done sketch, Yep, done. Alright, so the thing is, now it will tell you in which direction this is going to be extruded. So as you can see the direction of that line, so it is in that direction, which is the direction of the holes, because if you can see that those little circles is on the top surface, which is this one surface along the z-axis. So you definitely want in the negative z-axis, which is this way. By the way, you can always flip that. So if you can just flip that, so there will be almost no extrusion because there is nothing else in this direction. So just flip that. And the important thing is that either you want to through all up to a specific face and blind, and but in this case it should be through all, because I want the hole all the way from top to bottom and there's nothing else, and press OK. So it will create all those holes in your base plate. Alright, the next thing we can do is create holes in our upper arm. Alright, and also alright, so the upper arm, we have two holes at these dimensions. Just make sure, because that's why it's important to keep track of your names, because that's the lower part and upper part. You don't want to create holes in your lower part and later you realize, oh, that's my lower part. So you have to change everything then, including your meshing and stuff, so that will considerably take a lot of time. So the upper part here, so we have holes. Again, we have to follow the procedure. Select this, check this, and select the edge. I want this edge to be appeared in front of me, and just do small random holes, one here, like, and let's see the other is just somewhere here. And now I can add dimensions to them. It is 12.5 in radius, and also this is 12.5, so it's 12.5 radius, so the total diameter is then 25. And from this, let me check that. So it is again 62 and 62, and from the lower part it is 38. So from this all the way up to this it is 38, which is almost 38. And again from here to here it is again 38. And from this side to the center is 62, if I'm not wrong. Right, confirm it. Yep. And also from this to this is again 62, and you can always check between the distance between them. It should be 76. Yep, it is. And there you go. You don't need to measure from the top because you already have measured from the bottom, which is 38. And then done. Yep, through all, and the depth is 60. As it's always not, you can't even change that. Anyways, the Abaqus just take it automatically, but through all. So there you go. So now you have created holes in your upper plate. And the next thing we're gonna do is we need to create holes in those angles. We do not have specific dimensions for those holes in this drawing, so I may need to do some calculation to come up with the exact location of those holes in the angles, and then we can just create all holes in the angles. Okay. Yep. All right, so yeah, let's just do some calculation. And Then we can create holes. One hole will be here, one will be here, one here, one here. There should be 4 holes in our angle as well. Alright, so the thing is that taking a look at this design, we can see that the distance between these 2 holes in the base plate would be the same with the distance between these 2 holes in the angle, which is 128 mm, but it will leave us the location of the holes horizontally. Where should we put our holes? Here, or in the center, or there, where? So the only thing we can get that from is to take a look at the dimensions between these 2 points. So it is 76. If we can divide that by 2, it will give us 38. So the 38 is actually from the center of this hole to the half of this thing, which is the vertical plate mentioned in the dotted line. So the vertical plate we have is 25 mm. Half of 25 is 12.2, and we subtract 38 minus 12.2, it will leave us with 25.5. So the distance of this whole center from this plate is 25.5, or in other words, the hole that we will be having here, it is located at 25.5 from the distance of this surface. So that's how we are gonna create our holes, and the same should be the other way around. But I still need to do calculation for that as well. Anyways, if it's symmetric, so we really need to follow that. For example, the same thing for this here as well, for this location and for this location. Alright, so let's just proceed. I want this plane and I want this edge. Alright, so I can randomly again one hole here and one here. So the first thing that I do know is the distance from this to this is 128. Oh, by the way, I also need to know the, yeah, that's the problem, because it is not now symmetric. So the thing is, what I can do is I can, so the total is 180. 180, need to do some calculations here. 180 negative 128, so it will leave us with 52, and we need to distribute this 52 on both sides equally, which is 26. So I can now remove it, and from here to here should be 26, and the other one should already be 26 even if I don't measure it. Oops, sorry. Always try to measure your distances from the edge to the center. So from the edge to the center, so it is already 26. Yep. And now the other thing that I need to do is to measure. Alright, so now there is a problem we have. We need to measure it from this side to this is 25.5. so it is a good idea to come up with measurement from this side to this side. So we might need to go back here. So yeah, alright, because the dimension of the angle is not same with the dimension of the plate we have, so that's why the angle might just stop somewhere at this location. Let me draw it. The angle might be somewhere at, let's say, oopsie, somewhere here. So that's why we don't know. So we now might need to get some calculation again. Alright, so the distance that we need to take measure from this point to this is 75 4.5 mm. So now we need to take that and just redo the thing there, this side, just quickly two just random ones. Obviously we can just put the dimensioning here. So I think last time we didn't put the, or we did actually, the radius is, so at 12.5, and from here to here it should be 26, and the distance between these 2 points is 128. What did I do? Nope. Alright, oh, 12.8. No, no way. Definitely need to delete this, and between this point to this point it is 128, not 12.8. And you can always check the last dimension that you have. It, oops, should be 26. Yeah, there you go. And now the dimension from this side to this point is 74.5. Oof. Why is almost going to the alright, the calculation that we have done is not accurate. So for the moment, let's just put these two in the middle of, in the center of this thing. So we can do that by first obviously deleting this. We'll take care of those when you are assembling our models. So yep, it's ET, it should be at 40. From here to, oopsie, nope, from this side to, it is 40. Yep, and done, and through. Yep. And the next thing that we could do is need to have exact same thing here as well. I need, let's say, this one to be appear right here, and again just I need to random holes, circles, and again I have to put the dimensions. The radius of the circle is 12.5, same here, 12.5, and the distance between these two is 128, and finally the distance from this location to this is 26, and you can also check this one, it should be 26 as well. Right, and the final dimension that we have is from this side to here, it should be 40, which is exactly 40. And you can also, it's always a good approach to check all the dimensioning before proceeding. And there you go. So now we have created the holes in our angle as well. You can always check it. Alright, so that's for now for this video, where we learn how we can create, extrude, or partitions or holes for the bolts in our section using this little tool, create cut or extrude section. So yeah, we have created all the holes that we needed, and in the next section we will learn how we could assign different material properties to each of them. There might be some material that has a different property. For example, the bolt, it will be high strength bolt, so the material property will be different from the rest of the material. And after doing that, we can just proceed with the next of the section from here. Alright, Okay, see you in the next video. And by the way, if you haven't watched the previous video, I encourage you to watch the previous one first in this section, where we have created all those sections, the angles, the base plate, the bolts, how we created the bolts. It will help you to understand the steps to how we can simplify the bolt in this way, but not going to um very complicated section like modeling the pitch and the head and bolt and not everything separately. Yes, you do have to model it if that is your um, primary target in your studies or in your research or report. But for this study, because the bold or high strength, so it will not impact our result to make it like this. So you have to be very careful with your decision. Alright, see you in the next video.